go, New York, go. Say go, New York, go, New York, go. Say go, New York, go, new team, it's the same dream. New Knicks City units, boy, they stay clean. I just caught mine off the Fanatics in the garden with my hands in the air, we back at it.
All right. Okay. What's going on, everybody? Shout out to y'all. Sorry for the lateness, but had to do some stuff for the family, and it took a little longer than I expected, unfortunately. It is what it is, you know. But thank you for tuning in to SKF Weekly. I'm your man, Ron. That's my brother. Oh, no. Ones and twos, Jose. No. I am here holding it down like I do. Now, if you guys don't know, I have already mentioned it, but for those who may not be aware, Jose is out on paternity leave. That's right, folks. He had a beautiful baby girl, and so he is out on paternity leave. We hope he gets the amount of time he needs to get acclimated with that new bundle of joy. And we hope he gets some rest. I doubt it, but we hope he gets it anyway. So shout out to you, Jose. We love you, brother. Can't wait to have you back. But in the meantime, we'll miss you and we'll hold it down in your absence. That being said, John is not here either. John actually was all set to go and then got sick right before the show. Don't worry, folks. I believe he's all right, but it looks like he got some allergies or something kind of really got to him. Might have been something he ate. Don't know, but he's okay, though. But, yeah, he can't do the show right now. So I'm holding it down. You know what I mean? This is the type of stuff that happens. You know what I mean? We a unit, and the show must go on. We got to do what we got to do. All right? Things happen. Next man up. You know what I mean? Like our New York Knicks. That's how we do, baby. Ah, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful time. I'm so excited. I can't believe. Well, I can believe it because I expected them to be here, but it feels good to know that it's happening. You know what I mean? That everybody else gets to see it too. Because as Knicks fans, we've been watching this team all year. We know what it is. We see it. You see it. So it's just nice for others to see what we see. And for it to not be a Knick thing. Oh, yeah, you know how the Knick fans are. They always think they got a chance. No. We got a chance, okay? Our New York Knicks are real, okay? It's none of those spooky hours, man. None of that scary movie stuff, the stuff that you only hear about in the movies. No, it's real. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing good and life is treating you guys well. It was a beautiful day today. It did have, on the East Coast, the New York area, it did have some rain, like 2 hours maybe of like downpours. But other than that, if you get rid of those 2 hours, the day was fantastic. You know, we went up to 85 degrees today. It was nuts. I don't mind it though. I don't mind it at all. So yeah, but it is what it is, folks. Shout out to the chat. I hope you guys are all doing well. Shout out to those that may be tuning in on Facebook and or on X, Twitter, if you will. Shout out to y'all. It's always a busy night on Mondays. You know, we got a bunch of shows that have already popped up today. You know, between For the Love of the Game, Morning Brew Sports, the Queen's Court. I don't know if Knicks and Bruises did a show today. Maybe they'll do it tomorrow. You know, just tons of content, not to mention other content in the Knicks community that is what's going on today. I was watching some other stuff as well today. Today was a very, very busy day. And you had Uncle Freezy, Blorange Tears, Old School Knicks. There was so much. Today was actually a really busy Knick content day, actually, when I think about it. There was some shows that haven't been on for a little while that everybody was on today. So yeah, very busy day in the Knicks community. It's great to see it. And you know what I mean? We got to see what happens, man. Let's go Knicks. Let's keep fighting the good fight. You know what I mean? So shout out to King Ribby. I see you. What's good? Appreciate you, my brother. As always, good to see you. Dwayne Dennis in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you. He says, happy days are here again. MSG is going to be crazy tomorrow night for game 5. Send Joel Embiid home tomorrow, asking to be traded out of Philly after we stomp the 76ers at the Garden. So I'm talking about, Dwayne. That is what I'm talking about. That's the spirit. That's how we got to feel. That's how we got to be. It's going to be crazy, man. I just want the Knicks to take care of business. Get it done. Get these guys out. Let's not play around. Don't play with your food. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. Get them up out of here. Because, you know, that's really all we got to do, man. It's just play the same type of basketball we've been playing and go from there. Go from there. You know what I mean? Because the Knicks obviously have proven to everybody out there that they are serious, and you know, team's gonna have to worry. I see people are already kind of thinking ahead. I don't want to do that necessarily. I like to get you know, everything done first. You know what I mean? There's just too much, you know, at stake to kind of play around and just assume. You know what I mean? I feel very confident that the Knicks is gonna win the series, right? I said Knicks in 6, and it looks like they can win in 5, but anything can happen. So I'm just rocking with the fact that the Knicks will win the series. Okay, I'm sorry. I know you guys like, oh, come on, Ron, Knicks in 5, let's go, baby. I get it. I just Knicks win the series. That's all I care about. I don't care about what I mean. You know, I don't want it to be 7, but I just want the Knicks to win the series. That's all I'm saying. Let's get it done. Shout out to my guy Andios in the building. Was good. Appreciate you. He said, salute. Let's go, Knicks. Peace, love, blessings to us all. Facts. Wonder Woman is in the building. Shout out to Wonder Woman. What's good? Salute. Appreciate you. Lion of Judah is in the building. Shalom, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Grand evening, my dear brother Ron. Panel and chat. Blessings to you and your family. Shalom. Same to you, my brother. Appreciate you. J. Terrence Ridge in the building said, peace, still Knicks fans. Was good. Peace. JJ's in the building. Salute. Facts. He says, gotta have that killer instinct tomorrow in this thing. Yeah, 100%, man. No thinking ahead. Just let's get it done. D Nice is in the building. Don't underestimate your opponent. Facts. You know what I mean? As fans, some of the fans have been underestimating our opponents, but the good thing is that our New York Knicks have not. The Knicks have been really solid and really focused on getting the job done. Have you guys noticed that? Yo, this team is really locked in, B. This is I'm digging this. I'm really feeling this. This is great. Hot, man. I tell you, it's warm in here. I feel like I should have turned the AC on, but the noise, and it's not noisy, but I don't know. I just didn't want to do it. Whatever, it is what it is. I'm dealing with it. You know, I sweat through it. It's like I'm playing 4 quarters. My guy D-Block in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you. Andio says this team is real. That's a fact. It's a fact. 100% agree with that. Well, anyway, guys, listen. There's so many unsung heroes of this Knicks team. Like everything we've witnessed and watched, how guys have stepped up, it's been fantastic. Shout out to Mets. What's good, Mets? Appreciate you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Oh, and I apologize, guys. Obviously, if you can tell, if you watched our show enough, if you see how it's set up, maybe you can't tell. This is StreamYard. All right. So normally our show on Monday nights is on something called vMix. And when it's on vMix, we have the capability to do a bunch of different things, like take phone calls and stuff like that. Unfortunately, since we're on StreamYard, I cannot take the phone calls, at least not right now. if I want to take phone calls in the future, I have to buy some equipment. I have to buy a mixer, and I've got to buy some other stuff. And I got to be able to switch channels. That's why you need the mixer. So, and that costs money, and we're just not there yet. So, just keeping it real. So unfortunately, no phone calls tonight, guys, and probably for the next, 3 or 4 shows until Jose comes back from paternity leave and we can use VMix again. When we do that, then I'll let you guys know. But I appreciate you guys supporting. But just because you can't, I don't know if you want to do that, but just in case you want, you are welcome to jump on the panel. I could throw the link out there. You're welcome to come up and talk on the panel if that's something you want to do. But yeah, there's just unfortunately no phone calls. Shout out to my guy Kareem Grant. What's good? Appreciate you, my brother. Hope you're doing good, twin. Hope the family's doing good. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's a lot going on. In due time, my brother. In due time, bro. Everything happens in time. But I appreciate the thought. Yeah, I gotta. It's the next couple months or so, I'm gonna be headed towards getting some new equipment. And the first thing, like I said, the mixer is important, but it's not the most important. The next thing I get is gonna be a camera, because this camera is trash. I don't like it. So yeah, it's time for a new camera. Finally, I've just said, you know what, forget it. Got to go get it. It's kind of pricey, but I'm working towards it. So I will get it. All right, enough about me. Enough about that. Let's get back to our Knicks, baby. Man, listen, I'm just so excited, man. I'm so excited that we get to go. We're on the heels of going into the second round. Man, I just get excited. But the only bad thing about it is, as I said before, it's like bittersweet. I may be the only one who's thinking about this. Time flies, man. I'm like, all I keep thinking about is the season's going to be over. There's going to be no Knicks basketball. That's how I think, man. I don't care. Even if we win the championship, I'm still going to be thinking, damn, the season's over. But it is what it is. Hopefully, it'll still be a very long season for us, and we ain't going to stop. We can't stop until this thing is over, and we are hanging the championship banner in the rafters. Let's go, basketball gods. Let's get it. Hector Gaston is in the building. Salute. What up, Hector? Precious and JJ said Precious and OG defense yesterday. That was a defensive clinic. 76ers fans still out there talking spicy. Shake my head. Knicks in 5. I like it. Yeah, because you know what it is. Knicks fans have been letting them have it, man. They got a little crazy over there in Philly, and they thought stuff was sweet. You know what I mean? They started to feel themselves a little bit too much. Once again, this is nothing new. This is something that always happens when it comes to the New York Knicks. Teams start to feel themselves, but fans start to feel themselves, and while they're doing that, they're discounting or shortchanging what's the real. You know what I mean? You know what the real is. The real is we played the 76ers 4 times this year. We beat them 3 times. Oh, no, but the playoffs is different. When the playoffs hit, no. In the playoffs, we played the 76ers 4 times, and we beat them 3 times. Look at that. See how the math is mathing? I love it. This is great. So for all those 76ers fans out there, and you know who you are, who think that your team is better than the Knicks, I hate to tell you, they're not. Can they play better on a given night? Yeah, of course. Anybody could get hot like they did in the third quarter of game, was it game 4? No, game 3. Game 3, right? Where they had 43 points in the third quarter. They shot unconscious, 75% from 3. That don't happen every night, though. And that's the reality you got to deal with. That's why you got to be careful when you start saying and talking a lot of that blah, blah about other teams and fan bases and stuff, thinking that your team is better when you got to look at the real, look at the facts. I'm one of those people, and I get it. As a fan, you want to always champion your team and always root for them and tell yourself that they're the best. And if somebody's arguing with you, you're going to fight with them. But I'm still one of those fans that's a realist, okay? If my team had lost 3 out of 4 in the regular season and lost the first 2 games in the playoffs, I'd have been like, we just got to get out there and go play, man. Play hard and play our best game, and try to play some good defense to get this team. They're tough, they're powerful, they're a great defensive team. They never quit. We just got to do something to kind of make it tough for them. That's how I would be talking. But I'm a regular, smart, fan. I think, who sees the everything for what it is. Too many fans get too emotional. They're wilding out, and now they're dealing with it. Now Philly's crying. They got the news crying. People out there, oh yeah, everybody's buying the tickets over here because they cheaper. That's not our fault. If anything, y'all making it worse for yourselves. The tickets is cheap over there, so yeah, we can go yell over there. We're gonna be at the Garden. We're gonna go to Philly too. Why not? I love it. Now I will say, I'm not telling any fan how to fan. If you want to fan for your team, go ahead. Love your team and fan out. I'm just going to say, try to keep it as classy as possible, which doesn't mean much because, you're going to do some stuff. You might say some stuff. It is what it is. I'm just saying, try to keep it as classy as possible because there's nothing wrong with some of the stuff I've seen from some fans. It's just there's always going to be one or few people that take it to the next level. And then everybody's already they're already hyped. Everybody's already cheering. Oh, yeah, Embiid sucks, blah, blah, blah. That's stupid, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, step on that flag thing. Yeah. And then somebody does something extra. And everybody is still like, oh, I don't know about this one. But I'm a Knicks fan, so I'm just going to go with it. Yeah. All right, enough about that. I'm just saying, be careful out there, folks. Yeah, D Nice says, stop selling your tickets then. Facts. Don't sell, if anything, not for nothing. For the playoffs, I don't know if it's fair. I don't know if you can do that. But I would think for the playoffs, there should be something where you hold back a certain percentage of tickets and open it up to your fan base first so that they have first dibs on these tickets before anybody else can buy it. I don't know if it works that way, but it should be something like that. And if it's not like that, don't be surprised, guys, next year if they change it to something like that to stop the Knicks fans from doing what we do. Because that's always what it is. The hate comes, people complain because they can't do it. Then when we doing it and we doing it to upper echelon level, they got to take it away from us. This is what everything in life. When New York does something, this is what they do. So don't be surprised, guys, if there's no rule or no thing in place for the tickets for the playoffs to stop this type of stuff. Don't be surprised if you see something next year that the NBA all of a sudden has always implemented, but we're just enforcing it this year. Don't be surprised. Anyway. The coolest was good, my brother. Appreciate you. He said was in the Sixers stream earlier and they dogging the out of Harrison, buddy. Listen, not for nothing. I don't know what's the deal with Tobias Harris. It's a shame that Tobias Harris has always been a very talented player. He has always had the ability to do some special things on the court. Ever since he got that bag, when he got that $40 million a year contract, whatever it was, it seems like he hasn't been the same. Now, I don't want to say that for certain because I don't watch Philadelphia like that. I'm just going by when I used to watch them, play us. Because early when we used to play Tobias Harris in Philadelphia, Tobias used to give us the business. I don't know if you guys remember that. Tobias used to cook us. I guess they used to say because he's a Long Island, New York was his hometown team, and we never really went out for him. And so he used to light us up. It's literally, guys, I know Tobias looks like a bum right now to some of y'all. If y'all don't know, Tobias used to light us up. So, but those days are long gone. And he has been not looking good. Even in that last game, he started off doing what he was doing early. The Knicks were able to shut him down and slow him down and stop that action. Okay, I see I got somebody backstage, a familiar face. But hold on before I get to him. Let me just shout out a couple more people. Excuse me. Got allergies and I haven't taken an allergy pill myself. So let's just hope I can get through this without sneezing my life away. Okay. We surveyed 100 people in the building. He says, if the Knicks and Pacers in their respective series in 5, do they get some more rest time, or does the second round start right away? Actually, they're supposed to get extra rest time because they don't want to start one series too early before the rest of the Eastern Conference or even the Western Conference can catch up. They'll start if I could think if a couple other teams have set up matchups, but they don't want to be like, they wouldn't want to have the Knicks and Indiana be the only 2 teams that are starting the second round and playing. And even if they did do that, no, they wouldn't do that. I'm saying they'll wait until the second round is able to. They don't want to have second round games going on as well as first round games. So I just answered the question backwards. No, the answer is no. They will wait. So yeah, the Knicks and Pacers get rest. I'm tripping. I'm like, why couldn't I have just said that the easy way? Why am I taking the long route? I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Let me shout out Anna Grill in the building. Salute. Appreciate you, Anna Grill. Hope you're doing good. Oh, okay. Hold on one second. I see you. Let me see. What's the oh wait, did I already answer that one? Yeah, I did. Well, somebody else I think had a question. Maybe I'm bugging. Yeah, I guess I'm bugging. I'll see if it pops up. All right. Let me get my guy up here. Eddie.
Yo, what's up, Uncle Ron? How
What's
you doing,
going
bro?
How you been?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I can't complain. It's been a minute. Hold on. Let me switch this view. All right. Yo, man. How's life treating you?
I mean, I'm doing good, man. The Knicks are winning, so everything's fantastic right now. I can't complain.
Good. What's your? I don't think I've seen you on any of the shows recently, or at least if you have been, I missed you. What's your thoughts on this series with Philadelphia?
To be honest, it's going exactly the way I thought it was going to go. You know, I didn't fall into any of the media traps doubting my team. I knew from the get-go, man, that we were going to bust they behind. So you know, it's going according to plan. Maybe that game 2 was a little shaky, but we pulled it out anyway. And we are where I thought we was going to be, man. You know, 3-1 going home. You know, having a chance to finish it tomorrow. I just hope we do what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, no, I hear you, bro. I mean, listen, it's just nice to see, you know, them actually go out there and do what we know they can do. That's like the best possible thing. Like with everything, I'll be honest, out of everything that's been going on, you know, the Knicks have been fighting, you know, trying to stay afloat and do what they got to do without Julius Randle. Now Mitch goes down, and you know, maybe he comes back, who knows. Then I heard that Bogey's injury might be kind of severe, a little serious. So who knows if we're going to see Bogey again in the playoffs.
What did you hear? I didn't catch what they said about his injury. I mean, twisted ankle.
It's a twisted ankle, but they saw some stuff on the X-ray. So yeah, so that's the problem. Like, you know, who knows? We don't know. You know, modern medicine and all that stuff and science. He might be a quick healer. You know, who knows what they saw might have always been there. We don't know. We just got Bogey not too long ago, so we don't know what everything was looking like. But they saw something, so it's a little concerning that
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that play because I mean I knew he twisted his ankle, and if he didn't come back, I mean I've had a million twisted ankles. As long as it's not a high ankle sprain.
That's the thing. I kind of feel like it might be a high ankle sprain, but they didn't say that. I just the way it happened, because if you see how Batum rolled over it, it looked kind of like he rolled over it kind of badly. So I don't know.
I mean, he was able to walk off, so
yeah.
Who knows how bad it was, but I mean, okay, now with this new information, I really didn't. I guess the win I didn't really think about that. You know, Bogey and stuff, because I already knew what he was going to do is come in, give us 2 3-pointers, play no defense. I knew exactly what it is that he was going to do for us. Hopefully he'll score double digits for us in the game and help us win a game. But, you know, whole bunch of stock into Bogey. I wasn't going to put a whole bunch of stock into Bogey. Anything with him was a plus.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but now let's say he's not going to play. I think we're more than capable of getting the same production, maybe not at the 3-point line, but at least have better defensive teams out there, which is what we pride ourselves on anyway. So, I mean, I would like for him to be playing, but if he's not, I'm really not too worried about it. I don't know what
Yeah.
you think about it.
I think it's all about matchups, and
Look at Greg says they took Bogey out on purpose.
that probably did. Who knows, man? Nah, but the way the play happened, you could tell that Batum was actually going for the ball.
I'm gonna have
So
to look at it again.
Yeah, that I don't think this play was questionable. So it actually did look like he was going for the ball this time, this play. But I feel like we can beat Indiana without Bogey, because our biggest strength is their biggest weakness, and that's defense. And so if we can just slow them down for what they like to do, I guess it's stop them from transition. And I don't know. See, it's Tibbs has a certain way he likes his guys to play defense. A lot of defense is let them take long threes, and if they don't want to take the three, funnel them into the center. So like Mitch or Hartenstein can do their defensive thing, or like even OG or Precious. But we'll see. We'll see if he continues to do that now, because he's been experimenting and doing things a little differently. But I think that's what you got to do. I think you got to run Indiana off that 3-point line and force them to go inside, and just play that good defense. They see the thing about Indiana, and that's why Indiana is a little bit in trouble. And I hope somebody in Indiana's fan base is smart enough to understand that too. Like, they're playing, Milwaukee with no Giannis, and they basically now they had no Lillard because he was hurt. There's a possibility that both of them might play in Game 5, but so they've been playing a undermanned Milwaukee team that didn't play great defense to begin with. So they play it's even less of a burden to deal with them. Whereas if you play the Knicks, not only do we have some offensive firepower when things are clicking, we definitely got a Jaylen Brunson, and we have really good defense, probably the best defense or second best defense in the playoffs. I don't want to, shortchange any of those teams in the West, because some of them teams play good defense as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, so if we're talking about Indy, I respect them as a team, to be honest with you. I really do respect them. I didn't want to play them in the first round. Like, I have confidence in my team that we would be able to pull it out, but I didn't want that first round matchup with them because I saw the way we matched up with them in the regular season, and there was some things that I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrese Halliburton was just running wild on us, and there was just a lot of things I didn't like. But regular season and the playoffs is two different animals. And in the regular season, you can play this up and down style. Once we play them one time, and then I think didn't we play them back to back, or was it like really close games? Like, we played them one game and then it was like played two other teams and then we played them again. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we played them twice within like 7 or 8 days. I think it was 7 days.
Okay. Being it a series, I think
sorry, I just found it. We played them it was a little bit more than that. We played them on February 1st, and then we played them on February 10th.
Okay, same difference. But in a series, I think that's where we'll get the upper hand, because we'll be able to bog them down, tired Tyrese a little bit more. I don't think they have the defensive players that Philly has that they can put on Brunson like that. I mean, I like Naismith as a defender, but after Naismith, I don't know who. Nembhard, I don't think he's really up to the task of guarding Brunson. I don't know who else they can put. I mean, if they probably would have had Mathurin, would have been on Brunson a little bit. So I don't think they have the defensive players that Philly could throw at you. They don't have Kelly Oubre's. They don't have Nicholas Batum's. They don't have Kyle Lowry's, who are just smart, defensive, tough players. So in that sense,
right,
we're going to be able to do our thing. we're just gonna have to match when it comes to like who are we gonna put on their guys. Like Tyrese is just a handful to me. He's just
Yeah.
he's just a handful. There's that Obi Toppin thing there. But we never faced him without Julius. And Julius, he'll kind of like bog you down offensively and defensively. And now we're just a spread out. We're a different team. I'm not saying we're better. I don't want to get into that conversation. At least right now, unless you want to get into that conversation. But we're just a different team. You know what I'm saying? We're just a different team, and this team in particular does match up a little bit better. We're going to be able to defend the 3-point line a little bit better, especially with OG at the 4. And I think we'll be okay. But I do respect Indiana a lot. I have a lot of
No,
respect.
I'm with you. I respect them too. I don't think you can take them for granted because they have an explosive young team. The youth is interesting because to be explosive is one thing and to be young is another. But to be explosive young and show that they can win, because they've been winning some good games throughout the regular season. And then obviously they're taking care of business so far in the playoffs. So you got to, obviously we know that Milwaukee's not full strength, but Indiana's still doing what they got to do. So you got to respect that. And, I do know that they got a lot of firepower over there. But like I said, the only thing that makes me feel that the Knicks are the better team. I'm not talking about just the fact that we were the 2 seed and we won 50 games. It's the fact that when the Knicks are playing good offensive basketball, they can hang with any team in the league. The difference is the defense. Not a lot of teams in the league play the type of defense the Knicks play when they lock in. So that's why I say I feel really confident with the Knicks going up against them. But I do respect Indiana. And if you told me today, if the series stuff was already over and we knew that Indiana's playing the Knicks right now, and you asked me, who do you think's going to win? I'm going to say the Knicks, but I'm going to say the Knicks in 6. And I mean really in 6. Like it's going to go 6, possibly 7. That's how much I respect Indiana. I still think the Knicks would beat them. I still think the Knicks are better, but I think Indiana would make it an interesting series. So,
yeah, with me, like I said, I respect them a lot. I mean, it could go a different number of ways. It could be Knicks 5, it could be Knicks 6, it could be Knicks 7. I mean, I think at the end of the day, the Knicks, they're way more disciplined on the offensive side than Milwaukee is right now, especially with Damian Lillard. Being the one that's if Giannis would have been there, it would probably most likely would have been different. But with Lillard, I don't think they're mentally as strong offensively, especially. I like the way they run it with Middleton more than I do with Lillard, right? Even though I know Lillard is explosive. But there's points in the game where you have to be smart. And what I've seen from the Knicks is even when the Knicks are down, you don't see them go up and chuck threes. Try to get it all back in one shot, and that's really, really disciplined stuff. You know what I'm saying? They even out-discipline my mentality of like, yo, we got to get and they'll just slow it down and they'll get a good 2 and just keep on rolling. So in that sense, I think the Knicks are just heads and above shoulders above a lot of teams. Milwaukee plays no defense. Yeah. Their defense has been in the gutter since the beginning of this year. And on the other hand, Philadelphia, I think, has a really good defense.
I think so.
We've been playing against a pretty good defense, not scoring a lot of points, but still coming up with the wins. Now let's play somebody that doesn't play no defense, i.e., Indiana, and we'll probably see more of the 120s, the 120s to 10, to 109s type stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of good things. There's a lot of things to like about this Knicks team, man. And how
you know what, Eddie, that's what I'm talking about. See, you just said something. I said the first part of it, right? But you just reminded me of the second part of it. The first part is Indiana hasn't had to face a Knicks team that's playing this type of defense in the playoffs yet. They've had kind of an easy coast with Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. The flip side, too, is we've been dealing with a Philadelphia team that plays us defensively pretty tough. And usually makes it hard on the Knicks to do what they like to do, and made it hard on Jaylen Brunson in the past for most of the regular season and the first 2 games of the playoffs. But going from that to Indiana is a breath of fresh air for the Knicks as well. So those are two reasons why, the Knicks look like a favorable matchup with versus Indiana for the Knicks, should I say. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah. I mean, I like, man, everything is looking good, man. We're just looking really poised, and we're looking strong out there. It's not nothing. It doesn't look fluky. You know what I'm saying? It looks
Agreed.
it looks strong. It looks good. Looks good.
Yeah.
And these guys over here, and Shaq and Charles, man. I'm like, these guys have like these agendas because they've been in the league, and they don't want, they've always played against us and they've always beaten us, so they don't have respect from how many years ago, and they just want to bring it into today's world, and it just is just not what it is, man. We've been watching this team already for 2 years. We've been building this since we got Jaylen Brunson that first year. We've been building up to this, and it's been pretty quick, man. All this talk that we've had over these past years and these podcasts about the general managers and what we haven't done and what this and I've been one of the steadfast people that been telling people, yo, just it's there. Like, I could see what they're doing. I forget the name of the other guy that's always been on, that he's with Freezy in the show that he does with forget his name, man.
Corey Lee.
No, the guy with the beard and the bald head. That he has the show with G.
Man.
You know who I'm talking about,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. I'm like, why am I going? I'm catching a blank. Oh man.
But that guy, man, that guy's been another one who's always been, behind the situation, and I've always whatever he has said, I've always seconded that notion, man. And we've been building.
Is that who you're talking about?
Free Keith.
Yeah.
Free Keith. We've been building this for 2 years, and we can see. I don't even think we're a finished product yet, and we can see light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I agree. Shout out to Craig. I see you. It's always a pleasure to see you in the chat, my brother. He said, just like when Embiid stepped on Josh Hart when he elbowed Brunson, that was on purpose. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing to Dante. He hasn't been the same since. Well, yeah, I mean, but listen, I actually look, just like I say that Philadelphia fans need to chill out and relax and understand that their team is probably not as good as they think they are, and the Knicks are better than they think we are. I say we, like I'm on the Knicks, but you know how it is. We got to do the same thing too. I'll be honest. If you look at what Philadelphia has been doing against the Knicks, they have a good defensive game plan. It's just we've been able to work around it and adjust to it, and we've been able to be successful no matter what they're doing. But what they've been doing to take Dante out of they have been taking Dante out of the game. They haven't been giving him opportunities to get the ball. He hasn't even been getting a lot of shots up because when they give him the ball, they're right there on him. Or when he's catching the ball, he's not in one of his spots that he likes to shoot from. So that's the difference. But what we got to do is figure out how to flip that around so that tomorrow's game, Dante is able to get a lot of shots up and be a good part of this offense and also get himself going, because we're going to need him in the Indiana offense. That's a fact. We're going to need to be able to shoot some threes to hang with these guys. The Knicks can play really good defense against them, but the Knicks do give up perimeter shots. And a team like Indiana that loves to rain threes, this is going to be very important to stop them and be out there and going against them, because they're also preparing you in case you get past Indiana, if you get to that, and have to face a team like Boston, because Boston does the same stuff. So we'll see. Let me get my guy. I see he's backstage as well. Shout out to him. Hold on one second. Let me just say what's up to this guy right here. This is my brother, man. Shout out to you, my bro. He said, waking up from my nap, just wanted to show some love. We appreciate you, Jose. I hope your baby girl is doing great. The fact that you're taking a nap lets me know you won't be sleeping the rest of the night. So sorry, bro.
Salute, Jose.
Take it easy, brother. Yeah, man. Can't wait to have you back, though. But enjoy this time, man. Okay. So, shout out to Walter Blackman. Appreciate you, Walter. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. He said, "Good evening, Ron. Just got home." All right. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. Wiz BKLA is in the building. What up, Wiz? Salute. Drip Moore, the preferred barber of still Knicks fans and the Knicks community, is in the building. Let's go. What's going on, Drip Moore?
Salute.
And we also got Corey Lindsay in the building. What's up, Corey? How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. He said, salute, Ron. You were right about game 4. What a huge win. Do you smell a game 5 closeout? I do. So I thought the Knicks was gonna win in 6, but I think they're not going back to Philly. We're gonna get this done tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I feel. And Craig said, if we are able to get past arguably the second best team in the East prior to the injury, we should be able to get past Indiana. That's true. There's facts there. That's facts. We see. Yeah. And shout out to Eddie talking about, like, also playing against these guys. They got some crafty guys over there, which really puts the Knicks to the test. So then going up against a young Indiana squad, which not without having those crafty guys, is also, it's just so many things that you like about this matchup. You just got to play your style of basketball and don't get caught up. The problem with the Knicks, if you guys remember, first off, we've only played. Let me get Mets in here. Hold on, Mets. What's good, my brother? Appreciate you. So one thing I would say is, it's weird. We only played Indiana 3 times this year.
Tournament issue.
Yeah, I know it's funky, but which is the same reason why we played Milwaukee 5 times and Boston 5 times.
And we only played Detroit 3 times, and we only played Chicago 4 times.
Well, I mean, 4 is usually the norm, but it was crazy. The other thing is, with Indiana, in all 3 matchups, they did not get, they obviously didn't get a chance to see Bogey or Burks. They also didn't see OG.
True.
And they didn't see Mitch.
True.
So this is interesting. I mean, I don't know. I hope Mitch can come back. They say he's questionable for tomorrow's game.
But we all know with the Knicks, it's a cover-up when they say questionable.
Yeah. Well, I don't
think he plays tomorrow.
I don't think he should play tomorrow either. Yeah.
Why?
If they were able to beat them in hostile territory in a really tough basketball game without Mitch, then go to war without Mitch tomorrow. Save him. Hopefully you can use him in the Indiana series. That's another thing. Not only do you get to play them that they haven't seen OG, they also haven't seen Mitch this year. That's a big difference. That's a big thing that the Knicks can use in their favor. So we'll see.
That's true.
Shout out to Boulevard 73. What's good, Bully? Salute to you, a member of Still Knicks fans. Thank you. He says, salute Ron, salute Eddie. Shout out to the family. Let's go Knicks. And he would say salute to you, Mets, too, but he obviously wrote this before you jumped in.
Yeah, salute. Looking at how that game was played on Sunday, we all know that Philly is going to pull every dirty trick in the book just to try to survive and win tomorrow. They're not going down with that fight. On the flip side, with whoever we get in round 2, whether it's Milwaukee or Indy, most people are saying Indiana, but there's one factor with that team that worries me, and that's that speed they've got going up and down the floor.
Yeah, we were talking about that. That's what we were talking about for the past 15 minutes, the matchup. But, in the playoffs, it is a little bit different. Milwaukee has horrible defense. So you keep on seeing the same things that you've seen in the regular season with Indiana. I'm not so sure that's going to happen with the Knicks. I think we're going to be able to slow them down. I think we're going to be able to out-physical them, which, Milwaukee isn't doing, because Brook Lopez is their center, and he's a three-point shooting center.
And
Bobby Portis is mentally he can get flustered, as evidenced last game, which he got ejected. I think it was in the first quarter. That's not going to happen with the Knicks.
And then you throw in the fact who their coach is, the walking, living embodiment of overhype and all bark and no bite, Doc Rivers. It made you question why the heck they got rid of Adrian Griffin.
I think that was more of a keeping Giannis happy type thing. I think they didn't see eye to eye. I think the pants were just too big for Adrian Griffin when it came to that team that already won a championship. had the star player. There was a lot of expectations for Milwaukee this year.
Not to mention that, in my view, the front office crapped the bed getting rid of Budenholzer after collapsing the first round last year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a total mistake.
Well, the thing I didn't mean to cut you off, Eddie. I'll let you continue. I was just going to say the other thing about Adrian Griffin, though, is even when they let him go, I mean, I think Milwaukee, I think, was like 31-10. Like, it's kind of crazy.
That was like 31-7. That was like 30,
something like that. It was wild. I don't like, that's wild.
Or 32-17 or something like that.
That had to be more like in the locker room type thing where they just didn't believe in him, like the way he probably expressed himself in the locker room. Those things are very important. If you don't have a voice and, you're trying to talk to these guys and you're looking I'm not saying this because I know this, but these things happen if you're nervously talking to your team, if your voice is cracking when you're talking to your team, if this and that, and they see these things, I mean, they're going to sniff you out and they're going to be like, hey, man, this guy isn't the one to, Tom Thibodeau's, that's not happening with us. That I don't think that was happening with Budenholzer either. And I'm so happy that I don't think he's in the running for the Brooklyn job because I don't want him next. I don't want a Budenholzer in the Brooklyn.
That's Budenholzer.
Yeah. I mean, Budenholzer is
I think he's tough.
He's a good coach, man. Budenholzer is a good coach, bro.
And it's not like he's going to have a lot of pieces to work with, even if he did get the net job. I mean, that team is broken beyond repair at this point. That's the problem with putting your eggs in one basket in a short-term, quick fix, get the title now with aged players or egomaniacs.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn has made that same mistake twice since coming to the island.
I mean, yeah, but that's besides the point when it comes to Brooklyn. There's no really reason to talk about Brooklyn, but yeah, this Milwaukee team is not up to snuff, and reason why they're not giving Indiana's, and even with this Indiana's, they've been really close games. They haven't really been blowouts. I think except for one was a little bit like probably a double-digit win, but
last night's game.
I think it was last night's game. But now these guys are out. Lillard, I don't think is going to be playing tomorrow. Giannis isn't going to be playing tomorrow.
Portis is suspended, so he's not playing tomorrow.
They suspended him. Okay, so yeah, these guys are done.
Yeah.
How far have the Bucks fallen from grace? Won a title in a COVID-shortened 2021. Knocked out after a horrendous three-point shooting display in round 2 of 2022. Burned by Boston. Burned to a crisp by Miami. And now just basically getting outrun by Indiana this year.
And how much better is that Milwaukee pick looking for us for next year? Who knows what happens to them?
Yeah, well, it's true. You never know.
We could probably get a lottery pick, a top 15 pick, a top 10 pick. If Lillard decides that he doesn't want to be there anymore, if Giannis seems to not stay healthy as much as he used to anymore, and Middleton is around 30-something, 32 years old, I mean, we might be looking at an awesome pick next year if we don't deal it by the beginning of the season, which there's a lot of people who are going to be salivating over that pick.
That's true.
Speaking of the draft, I think at this point they should reduce the lottery from 16 to 10.
The lottery from 16 to I mean, I don't know what
only the worst, only the 10 bottom feeders should get that crack, not 16 teams. The 10
it's 14, right? The lottery is 14.
Oh, 14. But either way, only the top, the 10 now that we have this play-in concept, we should shave that number from 14 to 10.
That's interesting. That's a good interesting point. Like maybe because now there is the play-in and there's different maybe I don't know. I mean, the other thing is but there's no safeguard into stopping a team that's not that bad from getting a good pick. and still making themselves the rich getting richer. You know what I mean? Because they haven't really safeguarded against that. There's still some teams that creep in there that you're like, damn it, how the hell did they do this?
Well, Oklahoma City's been doing it, just making good trades, because these trades that they make for these superstar players go down 3 years, 4 years down the line, and then sometimes it doesn't work out. Like I think that's what they did with Paul George, isn't that how they got all these picks like Jalen Williams and all these picks like that?
Yeah.
I think
And
that's
I was gonna
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think the Knicks have been doing kind of sort of. Dallas got lucky. They tanked. We could have had a lottery pick last year if Dallas didn't tank. I think they got a fine for that. So they were able to keep their top 10 pick. So we've been there. You know what I'm saying? Like now we got their pick this year. Obviously, this was what it should have been. Probably around the 20s anyway. We got Milwaukee. We've got Milwaukee. Not this coming draft, but the next upcoming draft, we have Milwaukee. So, let's see how it goes. As long as if we use that in trade, then it doesn't. The point is mute. But if we don't, then we even have ammo to the way it should be. Have a team for now and have a team for the future.
True. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I tell you, the only thing, if things were different and OKC wasn't in a small market and they actually had some money, next year, mark my word, well, it doesn't matter because it's not the case. Next year, OKC would be the best team in the NBA, bar none, because everybody would want to go to OKC. Problem is, you don't have to really worry about that happening because OKC can only really afford to pay so many players, which is the same reason they had to break up their team years and years and years ago when they had KD, Harden, Westbrook, and all of these guys. They just couldn't afford to pay all these guys when it was time to pay. And they're still in that situation with all this draft capital that they got. The fortunate thing is they've been lucky enough to really hit and get some really good players. So they're just probably going to be one of these teams that's very young. Maybe they'll spend a little bit of money on some experience, but they're not going to, I don't think they're going to go like big game hunting. If KD wanted to go to OKC, for example, I don't even know if they would want him because I don't know if they want to pay for him being an aging star and have to pay all that money. They're just one of those teams that's very cash strapped, but they're still winning and they're still one of the best teams in the league. So it doesn't matter. I was just throwing that out there because I was thinking about how good OKC is and how they've set themselves up.
I think they won't have to think about that until a couple of years from now. Like this year, they'll have next year, and then they'll have maybe the year after that before they have to think about extending Chet. And then the next year after that.
Yeah, they're good for now. And believe me, they might take a page out of what's the team that used to do this? Oh, football, the Patriots. You know how the Patriots used to always get rid of their players and just go get other players, and it would work. As long as they had their core pieces that they wouldn't let go of. For them, OKC, the core piece is obviously SGA. So as long as you got SGA and maybe Chet or somebody like that. Oh, and actually, really, it's the that forward they got. That kid is nice.
They have to keep them three. Yeah, he might at the end of the day he might be the best of the bunch. He's nice. He's like the Harden. He's like the Harden of back in the day when they chose Russell Westbrook over Harden.
Right.
He's like that Harden guy. Like, I mean, Giddey's probably the one on the outside looking in. I don't think he's going to be worth what they want to get from him. They might trade him actually after the end of this year because they have Case and Wallace. They have a bunch of guys that they can just slot into that 2-guard slots. SGA being so big, you don't really need a big guard out there.
Jalen Williams, thank you, Boulevard. Yes, sir. That's exactly the guy. Like that guy.
Yeah, he's
like,
special.
I know they're going to get a lot of calls about him. He ain't going nowhere. That's nah, you can forget it. Yeah. Shout out to Lou Boogie in the building. Salute. He said, what about Phoenix? That team getting broken up. Maybe Booker to NYC. Obviously, I see Boulevard saying no Booker, no KD, no Bron. I'm with you.
No Beal.
No Beal. Definitely no Beal.
Definitely
no Beal. Look, I don't know, man. The Booker thing may be realer than we think. Even if it was realer, this Knick team, the organization is going to look at what we got going on out there, and they're going to make a decision. They're going to say, you know what? Depending on how far we go this year, they're going to look at the team and they're going to say, what do we need to help us get a little better? And if they feel like it's another defensive player that has some offensive game, then the whole talk about Booker and Donovan Mitchell is going to be out the window. But if they feel like, you know what, we need more firepower. See, that's the thing. This next series, let's get past this series first, but the next series might be a determining factor. And the Boston series, if we can get to that series, will be a determining factor. It's all about if the Knicks defense holds up and if it continues to be our strength and stops these other teams from doing what they like to do. Because if it comes to a point where we say have to play Indiana and we can't stop Indiana, then that's when you say, okay, maybe you need more offense. Because we threw our best guys out there. Because if you want to say we don't have Julius Randle, yes, but Julius Randle's not known for his defense. So we're talking about our best defensive team. We threw our guys out there, also hoping that Mitch is back, and we don't stop them. Then that's maybe an issue. That's when you say, okay, maybe we need a little bit more offense. Maybe, but
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. When I heard that the Stephen A. Smith talked about Booker this morning, right? So, I went and did my GM thing, put my GM hat on, and went and I looked at the team. And I said, okay, how can we trade for Devin Booker? The money matches up. We have Julius Randle and we have Bojan Bogdanovic. It matches up perfectly. We can get Devin Booker. We would have to probably throw in these two picks coming in this draft, Milwaukee, and probably two of our original picks and some swaps. Mm-hmm. That's a hefty package.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went down and I looked at KD. I said, we make a trade for this man now. We're basically married to this team for the next 3 to 4 years. And that's where you can get into a little trouble. Because if it doesn't work out, then, it was all for naught. Meanwhile, if you do something for Kevin Durant, you're not married to him because he's an expiring contract. He's going to get paid $51 million next year. The money also works. And in this situation, all you have to do is trade Julius Randle and Bogdan Bogdanovic. Straight up. Maybe here and there, something else here and there. Maybe one of those Washington picks. Maybe one of those, the Dallas pick per se. Let's say it's a Dallas pick. Phoenix doesn't want to do that, but they got to do something. So they have to make a decision. Do they want to keep the Booker kid for the long haul, or do they want to get a lot of assets and keep Durant and keep Beal? So they're the ones that are in the predicament. You know what I'm saying? So we can just swoop in once they make a decision and see, and like you said, if it's firepower that we need, we can just 1 year. If we don't get as far as we want to, we can do it for next year. Get that guy in here that can score, that we know can score. It was a legit lethal weapon out there. And then have him for that 1 year. And if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. And if it did work out, yeah, we could probably work something out as a signing. Don't know if there's a lot of people that are happy about that or want to talk about that situation, but it's good to talk about everything, all scenarios.
Yeah.
So I just put that out there.
I would say I hear what you're saying. Me personally, I'm gonna try to put my objective bag on because I can't stand KD. But I'm looking at it from a different perspective. Would he be a type of guy that you could bring here on a small contract, maybe 1 or 2 year contract? Don't commit to anything with him. Could he just give us exactly what we need? Some good height. He plays decent defense for his height. He can rebound a little bit. He definitely can knock it down and score. Does he give us what we'd be missing? Yeah, probably. So I'm gonna look at it like that. As a Knicks fan that's felt spurned and hurt by this man, I don't want him nowhere near the Knicks. But if I'm being objective, I could see that. Like a 1 or 2 year deal, like a one with an option. Maybe if I'm thinking about my Knick team and not about me. But I don't like him. I just can't stand KD. And if you get a guy like that, whoever we get, if we was to get somebody that's a star type player, they got to know and buy into the Knicks system. This system is a team. We're a team now.
Not to mention we need a star that's willing to develop in a healthy environment. Everywhere KD goes, he makes toxicity.
The only thing I will say though is I don't know. This is the first stop where he's been where I think you know how the Roosters what's that phrase? The Roosters are coming home to hatch or something like that. When you've done dirt everywhere something like that. You've done dirt everywhere you've been. You've talked a lot of crap. You've done your own little LeBron thing where you fires coaches and all this stuff. You kind of help build your own team together. You play with your homeboys, and it's worked out the way you thought it would. But in the end, it didn't work out because you didn't get success out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like KD might be changing, and now he's just wanting to play and be on a team and have some success, and he's not the same KD he was before. But this is where you get your comeuppance. This is where all that other stuff comes back to bite you. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying he might have been good over there in Phoenix. Maybe he's not the cancer that he's been everywhere else this time.
I mean, with the lone exception of Golden State.
Yeah, well, Golden State, see, that's the thing. That's that whole thing. Like, you know how when you think you're hot stuff, but you go somewhere and they're hot stuff? Like, you got to be a certain way. Like, he went to Golden State and understood he had to respect them because he joined them because they beat them. So, it is what it is. I don't know.
I'm going to play a little bit devil's advocate. But first, I would like to acknowledge Zigzag. Yeah, he's right. He has 2 years. So it's he's not an expiring contract, but he has. I just looked it up. Next year is 49.9, and then he has 53.3. I think that's when Brunson is eligible for his contract and stuff like that. So, but that's what we're good. What we're paying Julius Randle and Bogdanovich, right?
Right.
So I'm just saying, slotting them in there to those two players, which just Julius just hasn't done it for us in the playoffs. At least we know KD is going to be 20 points above every night.
Hey, well,
and he's basically Jaylen Brunson. When Jaylen Brunson sits down, he's basically just going to come in and do the same thing Jaylen Brunson does offensively, because defensively they're probably about the same too.
Yeah.
So it's just like, just having another guy there. But with the devil advocate, I don't know if he's been I'm not a fan of KD. I'm a fan of his basketball game. I'm not a fan of his personality per se. I've always thought that he was a follower. But in this instance, that's okay because we have plenty leaders. Like, he can come in here, and that's the reason why it worked in Golden State, because there were leaders there. Stephen Curry is a leader. Klay Thompson at that point in time, he was a leader. Draymond, let's not even talk about Draymond Green, right? He would put anybody in his place that got out of line, which he did. Hence the reason why he got out of there, because, he won his championship, this and that, but, got a little hot for him, but he was younger then, right? He was probably like, what, 27, 28? He was a younger kid then.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying, where you're going with it. I just can't stand KD, bro.
I get
you. And the other thing about KD though is that I'm noticing, if you notice, when he was with OKC, he was too young, right? He was learning, so he couldn't come into his own and start trying to call shots and whatever. So it was working out okay until they had to move on from him. Or should I say, until he decided to move on to go to Golden State. When he went to Golden State already had a culture. And, say what you will, but Golden State, at least on paper and how it appears it seems like good people over there. The Draymond may be a certain way on the court, but as far as the culture that the team has and the community and just how they treat each other, they seem like a good people. Mm-hmm. So when he went over there, he couldn't shape or break that culture. They already had it, right? Then he comes to then from there he went to the Nets, right?
Yeah.
So when he goes to the Nets don't have anything. So he can help shape the culture. He comes with Kyrie. They're the big men on campus. They're trying to call the shots. And let me tell you something. That was just one of those things. Like Kyrie is another one. Kyrie has always tried to do that, and it's backfired on him too. He tried to do it with Cleveland, or at least he thought he could do it with Cleveland, and then he got shafted because the owner decided to bring LeBron back when he promised Kyrie that it would be his team, and that's why Kyrie and LeBron had issues, but then it all worked out in the end because they won a championship together. Then he goes to Boston, and he starts to do the same stuff in Boston. Even though he's over there with talented players, he wants to be the man. They don't treat him like the man. Same thing.
Then he goes to Brooklyn. It happens again. Now, in Dallas.
Although I will say, see, this is the thing with these guys. As they get older in life, they get
start
humbled.
realizing
They get humbled. So that's what I'm saying. I think Kyrie's gotten humbled, and also he's playing with somebody who's better than him. It is what it is. Kyrie is nice, but Luka's better.
Yeah,
so
he still needs to teach Luka the ropes a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, to a point, just showing him how to really be but Luka's already a clutch player. It's not that much that Luka could learn from Kyrie. He can maybe learn. No, because Luka's also the type of guy. He's a dagger dude too. He'll dagger your team. Like when you're trying to come back, he'll hit you with a dagger. Like, so Luka's different. He's a bad example. Like he can't. I don't know how much he could learn from Kyrie. So it's tough with him because he's already a really strong player.
I just want to say, and I get it, chat. I know KD is a toxic topic conversation. I get it. But me, Eddie C, I'm very open-minded because I'm a basketball guy. I only think about the basketball side of things.
Yeah, I get you.
I know
Eddie,
that the New York
what you're
Knicks,
saying makes sense in a basketball sense.
The New York Knicks, at this point in time, the way they're constructed, I know they have everything else. They need a hired gun. They need a hired gun.
I just think I think that the Knicks are putting themselves in a position what they haven't been in years, guys. This Knicks team is on the map, okay? And it's weird. I don't even know if I like it because I don't like all these naysayers that don't believe in us to now jump on the bandwagon. But it's going to happen. It's happening. It's going to happen. So you can't avoid it.
Case in point, Stephen A. Smith. He's been one of our biggest naysayers for years.
He's the worst. He's a fair weather Knicks fan. Yes, I don't listen to Stephen.
Say what you will about Mike and Mike over on WFAN, but at least they're straight about it.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they may be quote unquote fair weather Knicks fans, but at least they don't hide it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Let me move on because then I'll start talking bad about Stephen A. Smith again. I don't want to do it again. I stay talking bad about him. He is who he is. Shout out to Crimes Dad. Yeah, this is one of the later streams today. On Monday nights, we do shows at 9:00. Tonight, I had to start at 9:30 because I had to get stuff ready for my family. That's some other stuff. But anyway, we're good. Shout out to you, though, bro. Good to see you. Zigzag Zigala. Appreciate you. Thanks to good to see you. And also thanks to the chat for mentioning it. Sorry to my guy. You know what I mean? I don't wish anything bad on him. Shout out to KP. It looked like KP got hurt. It was a non-contact injury. It didn't look good. He immediately walked off the court.
Derek victory for Boston tonight.
And that's a calf injury, right? I didn't see, but I heard it was a calf injury. Those injuries are super tricky. I had one. Took me like a month to get over it. People have those injuries, try to come back. They can lose their Achilles.
I will say, and I know Tatum got hurt too. Hopefully he comes back. That Boston was still able to win tonight and to go up 3-1 in the series behind Derek White. I think he was on fire. But Phil Jackson was right. Okay. Phil Jackson said he was very concerned about big men of a certain height being able to sustain themselves in the NBA. And, listen, so far that has come to pass. Now, we hope that Wemby doesn't run into those same type of issues. But with regards to Porzingis, he was right. Porzingis has run into tons of injury issues. I think a lot of it has to do with his height and other things, of course. But,
Why the hell did he draft him back in 2015?
Because he's incredible. I mean, the talent wise, you had to look at. You saw how good. Listen, we can say what we want. When Porzingis was here, he was electric. So he was doing some things, and before he got hurt, he was looking really special. It is what it is.
That draft was pretty bad. Like I think it was Okafor. It was right. It was D'Angelo Russell. I mean that.
Yeah,
He was
Booker.
He was the. I mean Devin Booker. I didn't even see Devin. He didn't even start at Kentucky. You know, those guys are really tough to get a grip of as prospects. But at the end of the day, he tried to trade him for Devin Booker, I think, right?
Well, no, actually, we turned down a trade for Devin Booker.
I don't think he turned it down. I think Dolan turned it down.
I think so, something like that.
Actually, because Dolan's an idiot.
Yeah. That's why he's not. Thank God he hasn't been meddling anymore. But that calf injury might be a lingering thing for him, and we might not see him anymore.
Yeah,
and that's how things can turn in these playoffs.
That's why I'm saying that's why you got to play the games. You don't worry about anything. You just go out there and play. And this is one of the things that I love about this Knicks team so much, that they don't care what's happening. They just go out there and play basketball. You know, I was really worried when Julius wasn't going to be able to come back, but I was like, you know what? They've been doing it. They'll continue to do it. Mitch goes down. They've been doing it. They'll continue to do it. And they've been doing it. So shout out to them. Shout out to Glamour Knicks. Salute to you. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. She said, I doubt they'd want KD. He's 36 this year. The aging thing, yeah, it depends. Like if we could get, I don't think they would want to trade for KD and his contract at that level. If we could get KD on a discount or something, maybe. Like, honestly, Paul George might look a little better right now than KD because he's making less money.
The thing
I don't
with
know.
Paul George is I don't think that he wants to leave the Clippers. I think he's going to stay there.
He might. I mean, they have turned it around over there. They look better than we thought. They're meshing. They believe in each other, but they have been struggling a little bit in this playoffs. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
They got home court advantage back.
Yeah, they played great in their last game. They definitely did.
So they almost blew it.
That they did too. Shout out to Mets, Knicks fans. Let's go. Salute Ron. One more win to the second round. Yeah, I hear you.
Yes, sir.
More Knicks TV in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you. I think I already said what's up to Hector Gaston, but if I didn't, Hector Gaston, what's up, my brother? Brooklyn Butch in the building. He said, Ron, I love you guys. And shout out to you, Brooklyn Butch. But if Booker is available, we better go get him, period. I would say maybe Brooklyn Butch. I'm in the side of they have such a strong relationship, Leon and Booker, that it might happen. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Leon is going to do it if he feels like it's going to upset the chemistry with the team. Because right now they have a really strong chemistry. Guys have bought in. The guys that didn't buy in are no longer on the team. Hint, hint. So I think that they're gonna let it play out and see how far this team goes, and then they'll talk to Brunson. They might even Hart might have earned himself a conversation. DiVincenzo might have earned himself a conversation, and even OG, and see if these guys feel like if we brought in Booker, could you guys play together? Do you think the ball can move around? You willing to take less shots here and there? And they'll talk about it and figure it out. But we'll see. Let's get through the playoffs first and worry about that stuff after.
It's true, man. But you get down these rabbit holes when you start talking about these conversations. Like the conversation shouldn't be had at this moment, but they just creep up, man.
You know what? But it only creeps up. You know why? Because it goes back to my whole thing. If you know that your team just beat a Philadelphia team, the game was going back and forth, anybody could have won. The Knicks did what they had to do and came out on top through adversity, through some dirty play or whatever you want to call it. If anything, that dirty play fueled Brunson. So thank you. Right? You go off of that, and your team has a chance to clinch at home on Tuesday. What's the first thing you do the next morning? I've heard that. He hasn't said this, but I've heard Devin Booker. Come on, Stephen A. This is why I don't like him.
Yeah, he started.
Why would you do this? I don't like it. I can't deal. Can't deal with this guy. Can't deal. I don't mind it. Look, if you want to talk about Devin Booker to the Knicks, yes, do it after the playoffs, after an NBA champion has been crowned. I don't want to talk about it right now because is he coming here now? No. So what does it matter? Let me worry about my team and what we got going on, and let's get out of this series and take care of business. I don't want to worry about no Devin Booker. It's crazy. Not right now, at least.
Not right now.
Yeah. Shout out to Just Knicks in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you. Knicks 100 is in the building. What's good? Hope you're doing well, my brother. Nah, that's not the case. It's just it's a basketball move, but I wouldn't do it just because I feel like he's burned the Knicks enough, and I feel like he doesn't deserve it. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm rewarding him. That's how good I feel about my Knicks team. That if I bring KD here, I'm doing him a favor. Yeah, come on over to a good team. Yeah. That's what I'm doing for you, buddy.
Tailor made for somebody with his skill set. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's how I look at it. He fits a need for us, but I'm doing you a favor because you can't get this anywhere else. Or I mean, maybe you can, but they don't want you, or they can't pay you. There's so many different variables.
There's not that many teams that would do this for Kevin Durant, or I mean, for probably Devin Booker, yes. Like I heard somebody say about the Miami Heat, but do they even have enough to get him? You know, but those are the type of cultures that we're talking about now that can get these guys, you know, that can bring them in because they haven't shown that they're leaders. But the culture is so strong that they can slide into the culture and take us above because we don't need them to lead. We just need their firepower.
Right. I mean, honestly, and I see somebody in the chat just said it. I'm going to go to that in 2 seconds. Shout out to Space Ghost. What's good? Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well, my brother. Always good to see you. Hey, my guy, Phil Porto in the building. What up, Phil? Appreciate you, my bro. Hope you're doing well. I know you're on your travel time. Man, be safe out there wherever you're at. I think you're in Indiana right now, so keep doing your thing, brother. And shout out to Morning Brew Sports. Please show your love, subscribe, hit that like button, do all that good stuff for Morning Brew if you haven't already done so. And also to my guy Boulevard, who's a member, but he has his own thing, 718 Boys, with him and Corey Lee on Blorange Tears. Please show them some love. Support their show as well. That's right. BSPN on our joint real. No Diddy. I love it. Craig said, Ron, I'd rather have Bridges. So he's the guy that I probably the more time goes by, the more I'm leaning towards Bridges. Because he comes in
Miles
here.
or Mikal?
Mikal, sorry, not Miles. Because he comes in here, he already knows he's taking a back seat. He knows Brunson's the man. He's watched it. He's already knows who Josh Hart is. I gotta let Josh do him. He already knows who Dante is. I've seen what he can do. So he comes in and fits what I think works better for the Knicks. And he can knock down a shot here and there. Although I will tell you, if I'm looking to get a guy who's gonna knock it down, he's not that guy. But he can do enough, and he'll make up for it with his defense. But he ain't he's not a DeMar DeRozan or Kevin Durant.
What I'm worried about with Mikal
is everything.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mets. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, Mets.
Whereas Miles would just basically screw everything up. I would know.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about Miles. Miles is in Charlotte. Let him do what he's got to do in Charlotte. We ain't worried about him.
You forget I live outside of Charlotte.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, my fault, Mets. My condolences, bro. No. Just joking. Anyway, you're a Met fan. You're a Knicks fan. I love you, Mets. You're my guy.
So
go ahead, Eddie.
When it comes to Mikal, I mean, there's plenty of guys that fit. The thing with that situation is, I think that Brooklyn's going to want to tax us.
Oh yeah,
especially it being Brooklyn, and that's not what that's the
Leon problem.
Rose has shown that he's not going to get punked by nobody. If it doesn't work for him, we're fine just running it back again and just adding Julius. It's not that we're thirsty. We're not thirsty for these guys, but there's opportunities to be had out there, and if there are opportunities to be had, I know Leon Rose is going to pounce on.
No. Yeah, I'm sorry, not you, Eddie. No, Craig, that's not what he said. And I'm not wrong. He didn't go to Brooklyn because they had culture. He went to Brooklyn because the Knicks aren't a fun team.
Yeah.
We'll see how that worked out.
Came out his mouth.
We're not a fun team. There's nothing
At
sexy
least not
about New
that
York.
time we weren't. At least not that time we weren't. We were a piss poor team run by an incompetent front office, a coach who had the social skills of a brick in Fizdale.
That was a tough time.
You know, and these kids were. I mean, Kevin Durant was. I think he was still 30 at that time. You know, the hoopla, the Jay-Z and the Brooklyn and this and that. And, you know, at the end of the day, they found out real quick that the Knicks, that was a Knicks town. Like, no matter what, you know, it was Knicks all day. And, you know, he's all the way out in Phoenix, so I'm pretty sure he's not hearing the noise of what's going on now over here in New York. He's not thinking about New York right now. But obviously what he said was totally the opposite, you know. Now we're doing great. Brooklyn is you know, Macau's over there crying every time he plays against us because he wants to join us.
Yep. That's true.
True. And then again, this is also a Nets team that's lost 11 postseason games in a row every time they've gotten it there, excluding the play-ins.
That's an interesting point too. So let's for right now, guys, let's not worry about any of this off-season trade stuff because that stuff doesn't matter. The playoffs is what's here in front of us. Let's take care of business tomorrow. Get Philly up out of here. We'll worry about this stuff and deal with it soon enough. And the other thing is, but I do want to second the thing that I think the Nets are valuing. I said this before. They value Bridges like he's a superstar. And I know they know that he's not a superstar, but that's the asking price. And so right now, that's a little too high for me. So I'm like, we're cool.
High.
Let's talk later.
I mean,
yeah.
With the Hornets, it'd be the same thing if they wanted to let LaMelo Ball go. Superstar who's played with injuries.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens at some point too on both sides. I think it'll be mutual because I think they'll be willing to move on from LaMelo. And I think LaMelo is pretty much tired of being in Charlotte. They haven't done what he thought they were going to do. I think he's ready to get up out of there himself.
I mean, why Lonzo in Chicago? Oh, wait. Lonzo gets injured a lot too.
Yeah, but that's worse. But I hear you.
Yeah, but he got
what were you going to say?
That the other kid is a lot easier to build around.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Jean-Marc. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. Shout out to my guy D-Ras in the building. What up? Hope you're doing good. I said what's up to Lou Boogie already. Shout out to 19 Con Man NYC. What's good? Appreciate you. Yeah, we can't pay everybody and trade for Booker. True. And I'm gonna tell you something. Listen, if this Knicks team gets past the first round, gets past the second round, and makes it to the Eastern Conference, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want them to run it back. And the Knicks organization may want to run it back. I mean, I don't think I'll be upset if they run it back. So I'm just saying, like, it is what it is.
There's the great thing about the situation is there are plenty of options. There's plenty of avenues, and none of the answers are wrong, I think.
Yeah. Shout out to Bricks Nation in the building. Salute to you, Macau Bridges and Ben Simmons. 40 expiring contracts for Randall, Mitch, Bojan, 2 first round picks. Yeah, no, I can't do that, bro. I'm not touching Ben Simmons. Now, mind you, that may get the deal done because Brooklyn be like, yeah, you take Ben Simmons with you. Yeah, we can. I don't want Ben Simmons nowhere near this team. Ben Simmons is a walking, like, here, just take my money. That's what he is because he's not doing anything. So I'm good. I'm cool on Ben Simmons. Stay away from me. Old Head is in the building. What's good, Old Head? Appreciate you. Animal Lex is in the building. He says, I'll pass on Booker. He's a prima donna. Maybe he is. Listen, we got to fight. The Knicks are going to do their due diligence, right? I know Leon Rose has a really good rapport with Booker, but he knows who Booker is. And if he wants to find out more about Booker, he will find out who Booker is today. So they're not going to do nothing without knowing what they're getting into if they decide to do that. RG, the OG's in the building. Appreciate you. Lady and the Chef is here. Salute, Lady and the Chef. Good to see you. Please support Two Knicks Chicks, Lady and the Chef, and Hammam's Diva Locks. You want to hear Knicks content from a different perspective. They give it to you straight and with no chaser. So please show them some love and check out their show, Two Knicks Chicks on YouTube. Okay.
I'm gonna check them out because I haven't heard about them.
Yeah, no, they're dope, bro. They're dope. And it's a very cool dynamic, the mother and daughter thing. So it's really cool that they're both Knicks fans and they talk the game. I like it. Robert Becker is in the building. Shout out to you, Robert Becker. I don't know if I've seen you in the chat, and if I have, I apologize. But if I haven't, welcome. He said, I love where the Knicks are at right now. Let's finish it tomorrow night and let's shut these Philadelphia 76er chokers up. I'm with you. I agree.
Sir.
Well, I know one team is not ready to shut everything down and shut an opposition down tonight.
Oh, well, who's that?
OKC. They're about 90 seconds from sweeping the Pelicans.
Damn it. Oh, the Pelicans has been so disappointing, man. I mean, I know they don't got Zion or whatever, whatever. That team is very disappointing. And don't get me wrong, going up against OKC, I'm not saying I expected them to beat OKC, but I expected them to make it a little bit of a fight. Like, come on. Jeez.
They're just not disciplined. I think it was last game I saw a play where in the first play, Jalen Williams got hit in the head and he goes down. And it's a 4-on-5. One pass to the right side to McCollum, and he shoots a 3 instead of getting an easy 2. He missed the 3-point shot right then and there. I turned it off. I said, Pelicans ain't going nowhere. They're not disciplined enough.
Digits in this damn series.
They're not disciplined enough.
They've been really bad, really bad. Yeah. No. Sometimes it's just a mix. You got to find out if it's the personnel. If the personnel is good, then you know who's got to go. Don't be surprised if they get rid of the coach. I'm not saying they will, but don't be surprised if they do.
I'm not sure if it's the coach, man. I think it's the 3 best players. I think it's McCollum. I think it's Zion, and I think it's what's the other, Ingram. I think there's something. I think they got to move off one of those 3 guys.
They got to get rid of Zion. The guy is a glass cannon. He can't stay healthy for the long term.
I think they might get more back if they trade Ingram, though. And then you have plenty of guys that could slide into that spot. You have Trey Murphy,
I tell you,
Herb Jones.
Your point, Eddie, that you're saying that they got to get rid of one of those 3 guys. Like McCollum is he's older. He's not going to get you a lot, right? Zion may get you something, but you're correct in that Ingram is going to get you the most. The thing is sad because they've been trying to hold on to Ingram forever, bro. And I think it's come back to hurt them too, because there's so many different deals and stuff they could have done before, but they wanted to hold on to Ingram. But the problem with Ingram, he has not stepped up into that next level role. We keep thinking as fans, we're like, oh man, I'd love to have Ingram on our team. But you look at how Ingram, he hasn't stepped up into that next level role yet. So I'm like, I don't know. I might say
he had problems in USA basketball, not being able to fit in. These people that are not able to fit into what the system is, they cause problems, man.
And likewise, they're gonna getting rid of Zion at this point. Whoever signs him, it'll be a massive albatross contract.
Yeah, he did get that next level max that he was due. So I think he was making like around $200 million for whatever the life of the contract was.
And given his glass can status, that makes him an albatross. That contract, a massive albatross.
I see your point. Oh, wait, sorry. I jumped off. I thought I read this already. Shout out to my guy, Brooklyn Zombie. Appreciate you, bro. He said 3-1 calls good in the world. MB about to understand why you don't go at our guys. This crowd going to be ruthless. I can't wait. Peace, fellas. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I can't wait either, man. It's going to be fantastic. Speaking of that, please, guys, if you are not doing anything, oh, shoot. Did I not? Oh no, hold on. I'm premature. Let me get it right. I'm gonna keep talking for a minute as I get this right. Let me see here. Let me shout out a couple more people. Alberto Ramos is in the building. Shout out to you. Hope you're doing good, Alberto. Let me create this quick design. Look at this. Let's forget about that. Boom. Oh, let me see who else we got here. Shout out to I shouted out Anthony D. I hope I did. Shout out to Anthony D. Appreciate you, bro. It was a good show tonight watching old school Knicks. That was dope. Hey, my guy Thomas TG Garrett in the building was good. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well, my brother. He said we taking it all tomorrow, fam. Knicks tape got it feeling like the 90s again. Love it. Yes, I'm with you. It's a great thing right now. I'm very happy at what I'm witnessing. It's nice to be a Knicks fan. It's nice for other people to start hating on us. I love it. Let's go. Herb Jones. I mean, Knicks 100 has been loving Herb Jones. Yeah, he'd be a nice move. We'll see. Shout out to my guy 713 Gamer. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you, my brother. Mindhunter for president. What up, Fliggity? Appreciate you, bro. Hope you're doing well. Let me see. Okay. So while I get this ready, let me move to this because I've been waiting to do this. We've been caught up in other conversations, been pretty good. But let's show this guy a little love, man, because he's been fantastic. That is Jaylen Brunson. That's right, folks. Jaylen Brunson, one score of the books. Jaylen Brunson authored the greatest scoring game in Knicks playoff history on Sunday. Here's a look at the top scoring games in franchise history. You see Jaylen Brunson is now number one with his 47-point performance. Look at Bernard King, B. Bernard King would light it up, man. Look at that. 1984 was a hell of a year, man. That dude could just flat out score. Jeez. Yeah. And then you got Patrick Ewing, who had a nice little 1990s run. Pistons and the Celtics. He put up some good numbers from a center. And that was before it was, cool for centers to be doing. And in a league where you wasn't shooting 3-point shots the way these centers are shooting them now. So Patrick was working for them points. Shout out to him. But yeah, once again, Jaylen Brunson, incredible, man. Incredible player. No one thought he was going to be this good. And he just has continued to get better and better every time out, man. Sometimes he might have a bad game here and there, but then he makes up for it the next game. He's like, you just can't ask for more from this guy. He's been incredible, man. Incredible. Shout out to Jaylen.
And to be honest, I think there's going to be way more to come. Like, I don't think that's even close to what he's going to be able to do.
So the mentality.
Yeah, man. He's gonna be scoring some 50-pointers even this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Especially not playing Philly, playing Indy. If we get to play Indy.
Oh man, if they play Indy, I mean they could run the score up, bro, because they're gonna be fast paced. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen?
He's gonna be blowing kisses all game, bro. From the 3-point
line. Yeah, man. We'll see. Okay. Let me see. I got this here. Oh, damn it. All right, let me get this guy. Okay. So, guys, listen, if you are available tomorrow and you want to support the Knicks, you obviously are not going to the Garden and want to watch the game at a nice spot with some really good people. You know what I mean? With some really good folks. Why not come out to a place we like to call Legends, in New York City, 6 West 33rd Street, NYC, and watch the game with some really cool folks at MBK. There's a watch party going on, and you know what I mean? You can come in. There's no cover charge or anything. It's a bar. It's free. Boom, there you go. It's the watch party for pivotal game 5 at Legends NYC, 6 West 33rd Street. It's starting at 6:30. And the food's pretty good. The wings are damn good. I'm partial to the wings and the French fries, but that's my thing. Yeah, man. So come on out, and you're gonna be there with Diehardknicks, my guy Eru, Tony Crow, Knicks and Bruises, BK Steph from the Queen's Court, Dope Soul Sports Talk. Steph. Obviously, Sim, the Podfather, is gonna be there. Ooh, what's that? Still Knicks fans. Ooh, okay. Yeah. So if you guys aren't doing anything and you're in the New York area, like, hey man, I want to watch this game with like-minded individuals with a fun bunch of Knicks fans. Here you go. Come on out, check it out. It should be pretty dope. So, okay. That being said, I got one more thing to get through, and I gotta go because unfortunately, you would think I'm just chilling because I would love to rock out for another half an hour or so. This has been a fun show. It's really dope to. I'm excited for tomorrow's game, but unfortunately, I got some work to do. I got a couple spreadsheet reports that I got to do before tomorrow morning, and you know what I mean. So, it is what it is. So, that being said, let me get to my my quick little segment here. Hold on one second. Let me read this real quick from Alberto Ramos. He says, Ron, I know I sound like a broken record, but tell me if Embiid, Tatum, Giannis, Joker, SGA, Ant-Man, if any of those lost their entire front court from 30 to 50 games and still be able to bring the team. No, I know. Brunson has been fabulous. Has been fantastic. He really is the MVP. He's not going to get looked at that way. It is what it is. But we know it. We know who he is. And it just is what it is. That's how the league works, man. He's going to have to pay his dues and continue to show out and show and prove that he is just this type of player going forward. So we'll see. I'll tell you one thing. If he plays like this again next year, he'll definitely be in top 3 consideration.
Yep.
But we'll see. Shout out to Mike Torres. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. He said Philly Floppers is going head and body hunting, taking out the remaining of our players. No good. Yeah, facts. It's been crazy, bro. It's been crazy. Shout out to Keyshawn in the building. What's good? Salute, Keyshawn. Yeah, man. No doubt, brother. Listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. You know how it is. We deal with it, bro. We deal with it. We get through. Hold on one second. Robert Becker says, hey, Ron, do you do other podcasts? Love your content. Do you do live games? I'm so glad the game is on TNT. Can't stand when the Knicks are on ESPN. Listening to the Knicks hater Richard Jefferson. Yeah, you and me both. I think a lot of us can't stand Richard Jefferson. It's like you can't, even when you think, okay, maybe Richard Jefferson is about to say something good, he follows it up with something bad about the Knicks. He just can't help himself.
Yeah, even when he tries to sound nice,
exactly. He's
in the
worst,
back of your mind, you're like, yeah, he's just.
That's a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, backhanded.
Well, actually, I do. We do a Monday night podcast. Usually, it's myself and my brother John. I mean, he's not really my brother, but he's my brother. You know what I mean? From another mother. And our guy Jose. But John was out sick tonight. Unfortunately, caught like some bad allergies right before we started the show. And then Jose's out on paternity leave. He's our guy behind the scenes, our producer that helps us with a show on Mondays. But we also have a show called Know the Ledge on Saturday where you'll see me chopping it up and, keeping people from jumping off the ledge. And then I also do a show called the NBA Wrap Up where we talk about the NBA. So that show will probably be this Thursday. And then I also have another show about hip hop called the Wrap Up on the Front Stoop Network. So there's a lot going on. And there's also another channel that I've got going on, a reaction channel. So I'm doing a lot of things here. I just got to make time for everything. It's been kind of crazy. But before I get out of here, I want to get to a segment I like to call, oh, wait, hold on. I got to, excuse me. I got to delete something real quick because I need a little more space. Let me get rid of this.
And before you get to that, I just want to say, I'm so jealous when you guys do these meetups for these games because I can never be there.
Oh, I know. Are you in, is it Costa Rica?
Yeah, man. But
yeah.
I know if I would be there, it would be just like being at home.
No, dude, it's a great time, bro. It's a really great time.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
I would love to meet you guys in person and just kick it with you guys. It's the best way to do it. You know what I'm saying? But one of these days, I'll show up unannounced and see how see how it goes down. See how everybody is because I'm a pretty cool dude, man. Pretty chill dude, life of the party type guy. So
I believe that, bro. I believe
a lot of fun hanging out with you guys.
Listen,
especially my boy Eru, man. My boy Eru reminds me so much of myself. Like
I believe it, bro.
That's like my how do you say kindled brother?
A kindred spirit or whatever, something like that.
Yeah. That.
Let me tell you something. Eru is nuts, man. I love Eru. He's a wild boy. I love Eru.
Man.
Oh, by the way, guys, I mean, listen, you will see sometimes the NBA wrap-up show is me and Eru, and we definitely do the wrap-up, the hip-hop show together as well. So, yeah, we're branching out. So here we go. This is the last segment of the show, guys. I know, it's tough, but got to do it. This is called Juicy Tidbits. You might have seen this before. This is the second time we're doing it, but here it is. And now it's time for Juicy Tidbits. Oh, Tibbs. Yeah. We're going to take a little listen to what Tibbs got to say. Because he always got some good stuff to say. Here we go.
Playoffs, kind of a swing game in the playoffs, and he sets 2 Knick records with the all-time points and first 40 and 10 guy. I mean, what do you say about that?
Yeah, I mean, this has probably been, we're a team, and we have a team of leaders, and then of course the way Jalen has responded to the challenge has been huge. But not just Jalen, everyone's embraced their role, and like I said, the challenge now is for us not to feel good about ourselves, to not change, to enjoy this for the moment, but tonight start getting ready for the next one. So we know the challenge that'll be in front of us, and we have to get the 4th win. So be ready for that.
There you go. Don't rest on your laurels. Continue to do what you got to do. Get that 4th win, and take care of business. So if you were concerned, thinking that the Knicks are not going to take tomorrow's game serious, knowing that they can get rid of this Philadelphia team and move on to the next series, that lets you know that Tibbs is all about business, and he is definitely looking forward to getting these guys up out of here. Man, I can't believe I was on this view. I should have been on this view. Boom. There we go.
When does round 2 start if everyone gets knocked out this week?
I think what I heard, I don't have it verified, Mets, the 16th or the 17th. I think it's the 16th or the 17th is when the second round would start.
That's a bit late in the game.
2 weeks from now.
But I could be wrong. I got to check that myself. That's what somebody said earlier. So let me see.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit too long, because if
I'd say
that same, like, let's say we win and Indy wins, we both play tomorrow. That'll be a 15 days is a bit much. I don't know.
I'd say about around the 7th or 8th at best.
I would think they would be playing on Saturday already, Saturday or Sunday.
One problem with that, they're still like,
yeah, no, that's too far out. I don't know. I don't think that's right either. I think that's wrong. I think
maybe
it's a
May
little sooner
6th
than
at
that.
that. Maybe May 6th.
Oh, there we go. The 6th or the 7th. That's what it is.
Okay, so it'll be a Monday
or Tuesday.
Or the Tuesday.
It'll be a Monday or
the
Tuesday.
6th or the 7th. I don't know where I got the 16th or 17th. That's my bad. I think that's on me. Let's not blame anybody else.
And
but
that's
I knew it was
awesome
6 and
too.
7.
I mean, a week off would be awesome. It'd be great for Mitch. It'll be great for maybe Bogey too. I just wanted to say, man, you can see it in Tibbs' eyes, man. Like, he sees that freaking championship, bro. He sees that freaking championship. He can run up and get it, man. We can run up and get it, bro.
Shout out to Craig. They said he's questionable for tomorrow, so you take that for you're gonna know. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see, just like we had to wait and see in Game 4 when it wasn't much of a waiting game. All you needed to do is see how he was walking out on the court. And I was like, okay, Mitch not playing, so I guess we'll see how he walks out onto the court tomorrow. That's how we'll know.
Bogey's been already downgraded to out. I guess you already said that. But
yeah, Bogey's gonna be out. If anything, he's going to be out sometime. Maybe if it's not that bad, I think they'll still rest him for a few games just to make sure he
especially
can heal up.
If we're able to get it done tomorrow, he'll have a week off.
My question is, with Bojan out, if Mitch doesn't play, even with your 8, who would be your 9? You can't trust most of them, and Burks is still banged up.
That's going to be the same thing you saw in Game 4.
I think so. Yeah, it's going to be Deuce and it's going to be Precious.
And Precious. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you saw, dude, he without a big man, 5 fouls on Hartenstein, which is crazy. He got 5 fouls in one
I'm
quarter.
saying that only leaves you with 7. You're still stretching yourself thin. I hate when the Tin Man does that.
Oh no, he's gonna. Oh no, then that leaves you with 7. Then he's gonna stay with what he did.
Yeah, he'll probably stay with 7 unless it's a blowout. Then we'll probably see somebody else.
I'm just saying, if you want to reduce your roster to 8, find someone to fill that hole. And at this point, it's Sims. I'm not a fan of the Tin Man constantly downsizing his roster just to play the handicap because of his ego.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Mets. The one thing you got to say about Tibbs is like, I like that he shortens his roster and he's so dead set on keeping that type of roster all the time. No, but when he does it and it makes sense and it works, you can't be mad at him. He did some really smart things in this game and made adjustments that worked out. Putting OG on Embiid and then shadowing him with Precious and then flipping with Precious, like that put Embiid in a very bad spot. Nick Nurse did us a little bit of a favor by not sitting him the whole second half. This guy played 24 minutes straight, which is ridiculous for a big man who's got somewhat of a bum knee. I don't know what he was doing.
And
but we'll take it.
In the left eye.
Yeah. We'll take it. So you're doing that, and so he made the proper adjustment. Not only that, he went with that lineup while sitting Dante because Dante wasn't shooting good in the game. He did hit those 8 points back to back, which were really important points. And if you guys know, you watched me on Twitter yesterday, I said, if the Knicks are going to win this game, they need to get some extra points from somewhere. It's got to be Bogey or Dante. And I said, it's probably not going to be Bogey because Bogey got hurt. So Dante needed to give us something. And then, maybe about 6 or 7 minutes later, he wound up giving us those 8 points. And we needed those 8 points because not only did we need the extra 8 points, but those 8 points helped us cut into the lead. And we got the lead to a point where we were within striking distance. Right. So, yeah, it's all very important. I just think that what he did made sense. Benching Dante was interesting, but it made sense, and it worked out in the end. And Deuce played really big minutes for us. Precious was great. Josh Hart was phenomenal. Let me tell you something. I don't know if we win the game if we don't have Josh Hart. You can say that about a lot of people.
Without
but Josh
a field
Hart,
goal.
Dude, Josh Hart
field goal.
Had 17 rebounds, and that's really special, right? Really important. We needed that. But what was most important, and because it could have backfired on us, the basketball gods was in our favor. He got 2 blocks. He got 3 blocks for the night. 2 blocks. He had 5 fouls when he got those 2 blocks. You know how easily those blocks could have turned into fouls on the Knicks, but they were clean. So listen, Josh Hart. Shout out to you.
And wasn't there a point where we put Josh Hart on Maxey for
yeah?
We got off putting OG on Maxey. Did we play OG on Maxey last game? I don't think so. I think
mostly Brunson or
Thibodeau put Hart on, and probably thought that he can probably stay with them in those picks when they were given those picks. He was probably going to be quicker past those picks than OG would be. And it worked out, man. He played really good defense on Maxey. Maxey didn't get off last game.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you. There it goes. See, that's what I thought. Because King Ribby, I did hear something earlier that they saw something and it didn't look good. Hold on. Oh, man.
He has to have surgery.
Oh. Man,
damn
it. Yep.
Did Woj tweet it? Where do we get this info from? Let me see.
What is it? Bojan needs surgery? Fuck.
What? What is this? Hold on. I'm what does that have to do with anything? Bojan has left wrist ligament damage. What? It wasn't his wrist.
We knew that before. They said he might need surgery after he was going to play with it, and he was going to need surgery.
Oh no, he may need off-season wrist surgery. No. That's separate. That's separate, Ribby. Yeah, that's separate. But he's been playing through that. So I think that part is okay. We just got to see if he's good enough to play on that ankle, which I don't think he is.
He's out for game 5.
Yeah, I think he's going to be okay for now. But we'll see if he can play. He's not going to play against Philly. I don't think you're going to see him against Philly at all. But we'll see. We'll see going forward. All right, cool. Shout out to Bag of Jones in the building. Shout out to Mikey Jones. Appreciate you.
They categorized it as a foot contusion.
That's a weird.
Yeah, it's probably
that's like a bad terminology. A foot contusion. The dude, his ankle.
Okay,
bent
so
back
let me
a little
see.
bit.
I'm seeing the play here. Let me see. Boom. Oh.
Yeah, you
This looks
see
like it doesn't even look like an ankle. It looks like probably like a heel thing.
Could be
A Lisfranc sprain.
A what sprain?
Lisfranc sprain.
What is that?
I thought the Lisfranc was actually at the around the toe area.
Well,
But
that's the thing. The way remember the way his foot bent.
Right.
That
right.
you know.
And then if it's a Lisfranc, it's but I don't think it. Who knows? I'm not gonna speculate. I'm not gonna be a doctor. Let's just give it some time. This stuff usually needs a couple of days for them to sort it out anyway. And when the news comes, the news comes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like I said at the beginning of the show, I think we have enough pieces to where we'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. Listen, let's just hope that that he does at some point, if he's able to come back and he can contribute to the team, because we need him and he definitely helps us. Shout out to John Smith in the building. What up, John? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, man. Bag of Jones says Knicks have to be careful with Embiid tomorrow because he's looking to injure one. Yeah, I would. Yeah, not for nothing. They definitely better watch that. Watch this dude. Watch the whole team. To be honest,
I think if they see that happening tomorrow, he'll get thrown out. I don't think. I don't think the referees are gonna. It's not like the first game of the series where they don't want to depict the way the series is going. This is cooked. And then
we also don't want to retaliate against them either, because what they'll do is we wind up winning that game and then they'll suspend our players and we'll start off the next series shorthanded. And we don't want that.
That's where we've been so disciplined, because we didn't do it when he was starting his crap. None of the guys did it. And I think even Brunson went to Harden a little bit when Hart got a little bit and he was just like, yo, chill. So they have that, they have that mentality, man. They're not going to let you, take you off your pivot.
Right. Well, listen, guys, this has been great. I've enjoyed the conversation. It could go on forever, but I really do got to get to some stuff. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Shout out to True Equality. Thank you. This might be the first time I've seen you in the chat. Appreciate you. Hopefully you like the content. Please smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And yeah, guys, if y'all been here rocking with me, smash that like button for the show. It looks a little something like this. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And I also want to really thank my co-panelist today, Mr. Mets 2128, my guy. And also a special shout out to a guy who's always been big in the community, but we haven't seen him in a little while. At least I haven't seen him in a while. Shout out to my guy Eddie C. Salute to you, brother. Thank you for rocking with me.
No doubt, man. Now, just thanks to everybody in the chat, and hello to everybody in the chat. It has been a minute since I've gotten on some platforms. I'm just letting this simmer. But, today I had some time, got off work a little bit early, and, I just decided to come and rock with you for a little bit. And thanks for letting me be on your platform, bro.
Oh, man, always, bro, always. And that's to any and everybody out there who enjoys this thing we call the New York Knickerbockers and wants to come up here and support and be out here and talk that good game that we love watching, man. This is a beautiful thing. As Knick fans, we've suffered a lot. We've gone through a lot. Obviously, there's different age ranges, so some have suffered more than others. But, you know, it is what it is, man. Hopefully, we all see the promised land together. That's all that matters. And shout out to Darren Wilkerson. He said this season seems special. I'm with you, man. I hope that's the case. I'm hoping for definitely for something special. Shout out to you, Corey. Appreciate you. Love you too, bro, man. Thank you for being here and rocking with us, man. And supporting the show. Thank you to all you guys. Have a great rest of your night. You know, let's enjoy the ride, man. Tomorrow is just another extension of that. Let's go Knicks, man. Let's hope they do what they got to do and get it right. Next time you see me, you know, probably be Thursday night on NBK and on the front stoop. So I'll be doing 2 shows over there. And then you'll see me again on Saturday, Know the Ledge at 11:30, where hopefully I'll be talking about how we wrapped up this series on this past Tuesday and how we are waiting for our next opponent, which, you know, whoever that may be, probably Indiana. Let's see. All right, man. Well, thanks again for being here and rocking with me. You guys have a great rest of your evening. Let's go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks. Peace out, guys.
Latest.
Freedom over fame. Freedom over cycle stays the same.